welcome to the Hotkeys podcast. This is the show where we talk about everything pop culture and random in the world. I'm your host, Mick, and I'm joined by
Wil Dobratz,
Landon Browning,
and David Parker.
What's up, guys? It's October 17th.
at 9 a.m.
It's not that early.
I think it's that early.
It's 9:27.
Yeah, it's not early.
Where we are in the world, it's 9:27. But for
Yeah,
Hawaii,
that's
it's
why
like
I just
7.
Why is that actually early to you?
It is now.
Well, explain.
So with online school, there is no responsibility to wake up until noon, around-ish.
No responsibility?
So nothing keeping you accountable for waking up before.
Besides
like
yourself.
noon. Besides myself.
Yeah,
So when
besides having like a more productive lifestyle.
Okay. Hold on a second. I think if you guys were in my situation, the exact same thing would happen.
I doubt it.
Guaranteed.
I was in your situation, and I woke up early still.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, Mick, when did you do online school?
My last quarter.
Oh, right.
See, here's the thing.
Don't care.
When you're used
Look,
to...
you can wake up whenever you want. I don't really care, but
It's just early.
it's not early.
It's not early.
As someone that gets up at 4:30 a.m. for work every day,
But you're
it's not
used to
early.
it.
So? It's still early.
I feel like...
I hate getting up
What time
early.
did you have to get up to make it here today? 8?
8.
Oh.
I don't feel like 8 can be considered getting up early.
Yeah, it can. It's entirely relative.
I think, like, we're going to go off, like, the world. Like, in general, like, most people, like... 8,
We're gonna go
8 is
off
actually
the
probably
world?
sleeping in for a
Go off
majority
the
of the people. Like, I would think, right?
Say that again?
Getting up
No,
at 8 is probably...
I wouldn't say that's everybody sleeping in is 8 o'clock. I think sometimes sleeping in people would consider 10 or 11. I think
That's
you're
just
just
you, though.
you're just better than everyone else, Landon, and so
I am. That is the truth to take into account.
because like
just want to be
on
catering
a
for Landon.
Saturday on a Saturday, I probably
That doesn't
would
happen often.
would like
What
to
a
get up
rarity.
at 9 or later. So I'm more with Will on like a Saturday morning. I mean, it's not 9 o'clock for me though, so I'm
not saying
fine
get up at
recording now.
4:30 on the weekends. I'm just saying that
Well,
9:27
I have a question.
on a
And
Saturday isn't that early.
what was the reason for wanting to do the podcast so early this week?
I just wanted to do it a little bit earlier so we could.
I said 10, and then Landon was like, "Don't you want to do 9 o'clock?" I was like, "I don't care."
Well, I feel like we do it at 10, and then like we don't get
We
started.
don't actually do it at 10.
And then we start at like 10:30, and then we're done at like noon, and then like we like screw around, and then like by the time like we're all wrapped up, it's like 1 o'clock, and then
Landon's mad.
half the day is gone.
Yeah,
you know?
but what are you going to do?
Yeah, just waste the day on my own time. I'd rather start wasting my day at like noon instead of 1. So.
Well, you don't like just hanging out with the boys till 1?
Oh, I do, but I feel like we did it at 9 o'clock for a long time.
Yeah.
We switched to 10.
Yeah.
I was like, why not go back?
Why not do it?
We gotta go back.
Early.
7:30.
Yeah, why not?
Might as well.
7:30. I don't know.
Would we have to find a replacement for you, Will?
I'll probably do it. I'm committed at this point. But I would be like worthless on the podcast. I'd just sit there with nothing good to say. And
Not if we do like an all-night, late-night Sherry's on
Oh.
Friday night and
Yeah.
just all
And
night.
power through.
Oh man,
Yeah,
all night edition of the podcast.
that's right.
8-hour episode. We just never stop recording. Bring the mics to Sherry's.
That's what the people want, right?
I think so.
An 8-hour,
Hotkeys podcast.
We have guests rotating in and out.
Oh yeah.
like our waitress
Yes, exactly.
and our food.
When are you leaving?
Hey, Sherry's is 24/7, baby.
Yeah.
Shut up, Sherry. I'm not talking to you.
Whoa.
Sorry, that was rude. I apologize. Sherry.
Whoa.
You've done so much for me.
Dang.
Never knew Michael could treat somebody that way.
Nick, have you seen Her?
No.
Okay, just wondering.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
What are you implying, dude?
I heard that movie's decent.
It's Spike Jonze. Yeah, he's
Did
a
you say
director.
it's Spike Lee?
Spike Jonze, not Spike
okay.
Lee.
So, Dave, you got a new car.
Yep. Bought a new car. Well, not new. It's a used car.
What kind of car
That's
was
really
it?
interesting. What else can you tell us about it?
It's a 2012 Hyundai Elantra.
Nice.
Silver.
How many miles?
It's like 46,000.
What?
Oh, yeah, that's one reason that kind of stood out to us was how low the
Oh
miles
my
were.
gosh.
And it's in pretty
Is
good
it
condition.
better than your older car?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't have a huge crunch in the back, and you can open the trunk, and there's no crack in the windshield, and then the speaker works on both the left and the right hand side.
What?
Wait, hold on a second.
There's-
Wait, is that normal in a car?
all the tires have regular tire pressure. The windshield wiper stick isn't snapped off. It doesn't have the or it doesn't have the light on for the airbag for the driver's side. So if we get in a crash, like I feel like the airbag would actually go off instead of explode in my face.
How long did you drive the old car for in that condition?
After it was crashed, 3 years.
Why did you not get a car earlier?
Is this another episode of Dave being like, "Oh well, I don't want to spend the money because"?
It's a combination of me being
That's every
cheap
day of
and me
Dave's
being
life.
lazy.
Oh my gosh!
It's actually kind of sad.
Like that's not even at this point. It's like a safety thing, right? Like especially with the airbag.
I'm sure it would have gone off. It just had this light that was saying
How
something
sure?
else.
Sure enough to test it?
Yeah.
What % of your life would you stake on it? If it's anything less than
Clearly all of
100.
it for 3 years. Like,
I guess 100%. Yeah.
Man,
I'm gonna guess maybe actually the airbag would work fine. I don't think there's any issue with it. Just the light means that there's something slightly wrong with it, right? Not that it doesn't work.
I don't know.
How often has a
find
check
out.
engine light come on a car and the car just instantly stops? Like the car still runs. There's something knocking in the engine. Like there's something knocking in the airbag.
irresponsible.
You know? There's a push pin somewhere inside there. So when it goes off, there's just one small chance that it hits me.
I'm really concerned.
See, well,
So why didn't you get this new car when I was there?
I told you because I'm lazy. Because I'm lazy. That's the biggest reason. And I actually didn't do it most of this. Bree did 98% of the work on.
Okay, why
getting
didn't
this
your
car.
wife get the new car in time for me to visit?
Because
We
she's a
traveled to
busy
the Upper
person.
Peninsula of Michigan, which is like a 6.5 hour drive, in your piece of crap old car that was a 2-door car, by the way. It was tiny. The sun visor in your car.
Oh yeah, I forgot that doesn't
side
work
didn't
too.
work. It was like broken, hanging down, so you couldn't see anything.
Oh
You
yeah,
guys
so
had to
I
remove
unscrewed it. I unscrewed it so that it wasn't hitting Michael in the forehead.
I
for-
can't
for
believe
15
you're
hours.
trying to sell this car too. It's ridiculous.
Doesn't sound like it's worth anything.
Like I'd
Well,
maybe pay
here's the
like
thing though. It's
a quarter
a
for it.
Honda. It's a Honda Civic that has under 130,000 miles. It still drives really well. It's a manual, and the thing is basically a tank because, and I learned this from Bree getting hit. It's a fairly small, compact car. Bree was hit by
It's really compact.
Bree was hit by a Chevy Equinox that was driving about 40 or 50 miles an hour.
Oh.
And slammed into the back of her. And if you've seen what the car looks like, you would think that it was maybe hit with another sedan at like 30 miles an hour. And if you've seen a Chevy, it's like a huge SUV. So I like it withstands some giant crash that probably should have totaled any other car.
Yeah.
And so it's actually all things considered, it's a nice car.
So should we use like Honda Civics for like government vehicles?
I think so. I mean, they're really reliable. And if it hadn't been for this, I really like the car. It's really fun to drive.
Why not fix it?
I'm
because
because I think like technically the car is probably
Totaled.
considered totaled.
Yeah.
I never knew that Dave would be one of the people I see driving around just like destroyed cars and trashed cars.
See, because typically when I see someone driving a car like that, I'm like, oh man, this person's rough. Like they're living like.
Well, I
crazy.
usually feel
money
bad because it
is
means they
tight,
can't afford
Landon.
a new car.
Money's tight.
But money's
But
not
knowing
tight for you.
Dave, money's not tight. So it just makes me irritated rather than sad.
So you guys should be happy that this finally happened, right? That it's in the past now. We have this new car that we can get in other accidents.
Yeah. Are you gonna change your lifestyle, because you're like you as a person, like you're like what, you're 4 to 5 years away from like having like life changing money, like where like money will never be an issue. Like, are you gonna change like your cheapness lifestyle and like live like a normal human?
No, he's not.
Or will you?
Oh, we will adjust accordingly. Yeah. I mean, we'll adjust accordingly. But I mean,
Dave turns into a snob.
Sound clip it. And
we will
wait
adjust
5
accordingly.
years.
We will adjust accordingly. We will adjust accordingly. But
It's not gonna happen.
Bree and I
Single wide trailer.
Bree and I still will be very very frugal.
If anyone
And
mentions, hey,
the
do you
thing
want to
is,
eat out? You guys will still be like, what are you talking about?
This is gonna kill you. This is gonna kill you, Michael, in particular. But Bree and I are not as frugal as we'd like to be. There's still quite a few areas where, like, man, we spend way too much money with this. We spend way too much money with this. So, like
what?
I actually want to cut expenses if possible.
For what?
I think we spend too much on internet. I want to get a better internet plan if possible. I think food too. We spend too much on food. We could probably adjust that expense. I mean, this podcast
you guys are, like,
hosting.
eating
I've been
healthy
I've been
now,
I've been
so,
paying
like-
for hosting the podcast for over a year, and that kind
I've
of
been
adds
paying
up.
for this room for 2 years, so really.
What did I pay for? I picked out all the equipment.
Thanks, Mick.
Yeah.
Will,
Dang it.
Will doesn't have
as long
any
as you're
shares.
not on the bottom, then you're fine.
Will doesn't have any shares in the company, I think, right? So
No,
when
I
they get
don't. I'm
big,
just
like,
along for the ride.
Will
Just my
will get cut
basic
out.
salary pay.
Well,
like
see,
the
no
wage,
one went
salary,
along with that
salary.
contract that I did, so we actually don't have any contract or any type of official shares in the podcast. But yeah,
You lied to us.
You lied to us all.
You said at the beginning that we each have a portion of this podcast, Dave.
I wrote a
was that piece of
contract
paper
that was
that I
like
signed
2
then?
pages long. Landon
I
read it.
signed
He was like too confusing.
I think I signed it.
No, we didn't. No one ever did.
I'm pretty sure I did.
No, people complained about it too much, and
Something felt off about it, though. There was
I
definitely.
don't even remember what that said. It was like, Dave gets to control everything.
Yeah.
Please sign
Dave gets
here.
all money.
money me now. Podcast money. Well, because we're just rolling in the podcast dough.
Yeah.
Yeah, aren't we? That's what you always tell me.
20 cents a week.
Anyway, I'm trying to cut costs. So,
What?
if I stop hosting the podcast, I'll save $20 a month.
I host the podcast.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah. Nick's the host. Stop trying to take
You're trying to
credit.
take away from me.
See, Dave, I don't appreciate you trying to like have more responsibility than you do.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to help pay for the podcast then, Will?
Ah, nah, I'm good. Thanks, though, Dave.
Anyway,
I'll cut
new
I'll
car.
cut you a check, Dave, like for the podcast next time you're around.
How much?
I'll give him like $5.
You're like the grandpa that's like, here, go buy a soda pop or something. like
Get
that.
yourself
A
a
sody
pack of
pop.
baseball cards.
Some big league chew.
Now I'm imagining what Lena would be like as a grandpa. Like, I can only
It's
imagine.
Kinda like
close to what he
now.
is now.
Yeah.
Just maybe a little more
Like
gray.
hunching and
little
slinking
more
around his
wrinkled.
apartment. Like,
But
this.
actually having grandchildren, I mean, that's kind of
That's
important.
gonna be. It's kind of a.
Oh,
that's
that's
a
scary.
That's a stretch. There's another thing that's happened before.
the genes that Landon has will be like mixed, right? So when they pass down, like it's not going to be just Landon. So there'll be flashes of Landon in the grandkids.
Landon
so
will
it won't
find
be as
some way
bad.
to just.
Flashes of Landon. Is that going to be your memoir?
Forward by who?
Is that after you're convicted of some like sexual misdemeanor, like flashes of Landon?
Whoa. For there to be a sexual misdemeanor, something.
Okay, sorry, not convicted, just tried. How about that?
Just tried. Controversy.
Nothing was ever confirmed.
When you name it flashing, it sounds just like he's a flasher.
No. Flash is
like
flashing of
like
Landon.
he,
Yeah, there were multiple
yeah.
flashing incidents. So flashes.
Yes.
Your theme song would be Flash Gordon by Queen.
Nailed it.
Well, when my voice is just like Freddie Mercury's, so
Yeah.
Really?
All David needs is that mustache on
Aw.
stage
I'm trying.
and that
someday.
tank top
And the teeth.
tight jeans.
Yeah, the weird teeth. Yeah. It's kind of disturbing.
Apparently, he didn't want to mess with it because he was afraid it would like change his voice.
I mean, if I was as successful as Freddie Mercury, and like my main instrument was my mouth, then I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to
mess
change
with
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he changes it, just can't sing.
Flourish.
Yeah. Who are some of you guys' favorite like 80s, 70s rock stars?
I don't know music.
Like bands or do you mean
70s and 80s?
singers?
Groups or people or whatever.
Electric Light Orchestra.
They're cool.
Don't bring
Yeah,
me
I
down.
really like Electric Light Orchestra. Yeah. Bruce.
Well, if you're starting with 70s, then the first one that jumps to my mind is
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Pink Floyd a lot too. They had a lot. Most of their bigger albums were in the 70s. Who else? Boston. I like Boston a lot too.
Boston's great.
Eagles.
We built this city. Is that the on rock and roll?
Is that a group? Just
Is that by the Eagles? That song, or is that by
No.
someone else? Who's that by
Who's that
then?
by?
I don't know music.
That might be like a
Oh.
one-hit wonder. Who?
I'm pretty sure it is
We built this city.
Let me see.
on rock and roll.
Built this city.
favorite group.
Yeah.
It's
Is
Jeff-
that your favorite song? Like in
I,
general?
I don't like that song. It's annoying.
What made you think of it?
I thought it was by the Eagles for some reason. I don't
No,
know.
it's
I think so.
Starship. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
I
yeah,
Oh
don't-
yeah, Starship.
I'm not sure if
My
I recognize
favorite
any of the songs.
How much money do you think they made on that song?
Probably a lot.
Probably millions and then
Wait,
squandered it.
was it one of the GTA? It was one of the GTA
Good
5
money.
songs, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's in the GTA 5 playlist.
Oh,
Oh, then
yeah,
it's
millions.
definitely worth something.
Yeah.
Well, what about you,
Dream
Mick?
is to get your song on GTA, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
What are some of your favorite 70s bands?
Me?
Yeah.
I like Wings, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin,
I also like Wings.
Boston,
I like
Kansas.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Thank you.
The only band you can eat.
For the low price of $30 for 10 wings.
I like David Bowie a lot too.
Yeah,
He
Bowie.
really spans decades as well.
he does. He's not one of my favorites, but Eddie Van Halen just passed away.
Oh yeah, that was like a week ago or
couple
so.
weeks
Right?
ago or something.
I there's a couple Van Halen songs I like. They're not up there with like
I like
favorite
Panama.
bands of mine.
Is that Dream On?
What?
No, that's Aerosmith.
Oh, that's Aerosmith.
Aerosmith.
Van Halen is Jump.
Were you Landon?
Yeah, Panama. What else do they do?
Bad Landon noises.
I think just Panama.
those are their only two songs.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The Van Halen album.
What did he? How did he die? Was it just
think
old
it-
age or?
Cancer.
he wasn't that old. He was only like 65, I think.
65. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had some type of cancer.
Dang.
He probably lived a pretty hard lifestyle in his 20s and 30s, I would assume, right? Like,
Nah,
most of his rock-
You mean as a
rocker.
hard rock star?
Yeah, like, I mean,
When does that ever happen? You don't know anything about music.
I'm just saying, I feel like I know that.
It
Like,
reminds-
put a lot of miles on the body.
It reminds me of that mockumentary we watched. Oh, what's it called? The one with the rock stars, Dave?
This is Spinal Tap.
Yeah, Spinal Tap.
I love that movie. The movie's so good. Landon didn't appreciate it as much, but I think it's because he just doesn't like
I don't know.
music.
Yeah,
that much.
I like music, but I just don't like it that much.
That's what I said.
Stop.
You know what movie I tried to find that you also showed me? I tried to find it to watch it again. American Movie, the documentary about...
Yeah, I had to buy that on DVD, I think, on Amazon for Mick, because I can't. It was hard to find other
I
places.
could just let you borrow it.
Okay, cool. Because I want to show it to my dad.
I think your dad would like that movie. That's such a like funny / depressing movie.
Yeah, it's
It's sad.
It's sad, definitely,
It's
but it's
really
also a little uplifting too.
Yeah,
For-
I mean,
for,
yeah,
at
it's-
least for me.
Well, it's this guy that has. I mean, yeah. So to explain, it's this documentary about this filmmaker from, I think it's Wisconsin or Minnesota, one of those two states.
I think it's Wisconsin.
And he's this independent filmmaker who's not a very good filmmaker, but he's got a lot of drive. And so the movie is
That's all
about
you
him.
need.
The movie is about him trying to make these two movies, and so the movies he's making aren't very good. But he's a very interesting character, kind of just understanding where he's coming from and why he's trying to make the movies he is, and he's a very interesting person.
I found it enjoyable to take a look into his life because it's so different
And
than all of ours.
His
He also has some
supporting
interesting
cast
friends.
of characters, his friends and family are also very interesting. His best friend is one of the funniest people.
Screaming.
Yeah, but
Unintentionally too. Unintentionally. Like we're all talking about when like it's funny, but it's not intentionally funny. It's all funny because of the way they present themselves seriously.
Yeah.
It's such a great documentary. I thought it was a mockumentary at first when I first watched it. I wasn't sure if it was a mockumentary or a documentary.
Oh,
I think that's the sign of a good movie. See, it was the same for me when I saw what's that one? What We Do in the Shadows. You know, I wasn't sure if that was a mockumentary or not. But
Is that about vampires?
I was so convinced that it was real.
I've never been to New Zealand. Maybe they're normal there. I don't know. What was the movie you were talking about though, Landon, that you brought up?
I said isn't Windy City Heat?
Oh, that one.
Not
Yeah,
a
that one is
mockumentary.
also a documentary.
Yeah.
But, well, it's really just a prank that is recorded.
A feature-length
A
break.
feature-length prank.
But like you can't decide, like there's no way this guy can't like you're watching it like this guy has to understand what's going on, but he's so stupid that he doesn't.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I mean, it's like imagine Borat, but instead of having one person, it's everyone else in the movie is
In
kind
on
of
it,
as
and one guy's
oblivious as next
Can you explain
person.
what the prank is?
Oh, it's these guys that basically trick this actor or this aspiring actor that he gets a starring role in this movie. And I think the movie itself is it called Windy City Heat?
I think so.
And it's everyone else is in on this because this guy is apparently kind of not the greatest, and so they want to prank him to make him think that he's starring in this feature-length movie. I mean, and in a sense he is because he is the star of this documentary about this prank, and eventually he learns about it, but he always, I think he's later after the fact he said like, oh yeah, I knew I was, yeah, of course I knew it was,
I was just playing along the whole time.
Yeah, he's a flip-flopper. But that's a funny... That one's also hard to find because I think it was a Comedy Central movie that was from 2006 or something. But that movie's great. Another hilarious movie.
You'd think like with how much like online stuff we have, it'd be easy to find almost every single movie.
Well,
But then there's that one movie that you try to find.
We kind of talked about that the other week with the UK version of Utopia, right? Like
Yeah.
it's weird that some things are still hard to find, which is weird, but I mean,
especially like anything after like early 2000s, you would think, would be easy to get.
Does that mean that they're coming out with like a really high quality version of Windy City Heat? And they're just
Blu-ray?
burying the original version.
yeah, the 4K reels.
Now in 3D.
I think that movie's in like 4:3 or whatever. Oh no, it was from 2003, not 2006, so it's even older.
Who was involved with it? Like Dane Cook and
He was just one of the
Jimmy Kimmel.
one of the actors. Yeah, it was directed by Bobcat Goldthwait, who is a stand-up comedian. If you guys are familiar with him.
I've heard his name.
Yeah. And then it was produced by Jimmy Kimmel, Adam Carolla, he does a podcast, or he did a podcast. I don't know if he still does it anymore. And then some other people. But the big people behind it were Jimmy Kimmel, Bobcat Goldthwait, and Adam Carolla.
and Dane Cook.
He was just
Did you
in
say
it.
his name?
Yes, but he wasn't one of... He was just an actor in the movie.
Oh, I thought he was like a producer.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well,
And Dane Cook.
screw me.
Michael on like his DVD copy takes a Sharpie and writes Dane Cook like right by the producers section at the bottom.
The most important
Says it right
person.
there.
Dane
Yeah,
Cook.
because I found both of those movies on DVD. So I have Windy City Heat, and Michael has American Movie.
Yes.
So
Combine them together.
yeah.
You need to keep them separate, otherwise,
Otherwise, too many great movies in one location.
something glorious happens. And it's just too much for the human eyes.
Well, so in movies like this, I guess Borat 2 is coming out in like a week or something.
I'm excited.
That'll be interesting because apparently there is a scene where he infiltrated. Was it a Was it a Pence?
I watched the trailer. Looks like it's a Pence rally. And he's dressed up as like in a Trump suit or something.
Which then I found articles in that like there were reports of this when that happened, and now there are people like that were reporting saying like now we know what it was. It was Sacha Baron Cohen filming the next Borat movie.
Yes.
So I still don't think it'll be able to top the first one, just with how great the situations are in that movie. Plus, he was already an established character at this point and is so recognizable. I think that's kind of, from what the trailer was showing at least, though, was part of that is the movie is like he goes out as Borat and everyone knows, hey, you're Borat. And he's like, what? Well,
the rest of the movies didn't do nearly as well as Borat did. Like,
no, I don't.
Bruno and the Dictator.
I never saw the Dictator. The Dictator one is different, though. I think that was more like an actual movie. Bruno...
I heard Bruno was terrible.
Bruno was not as good as Borat.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because, I don't know, Borat...
Lightning in a bottle.
Borat is really...
thing.
Yeah, Borat was really good. If you haven't seen that, it's a great satire of American culture, especially for that.
The hotel scene out of my... Like, it's just... burned into my skull. Like I can't. I wish I could get rid of it. It's just so horrifying.
I haven't seen it, and I have no idea what you're talking about. But now I actually really want to watch the movie just for that.
Funny. It's
The movie is really kind of depressing too when you, after the fact, you realize this isn't a spoiler, but the movie is real. I mean, it's the only people in on the film are Sacha Baron Cohen as Borat, and then a very few other people, like 2 or 3 other people.
Some of the stuff though just seems so fake though. Like there's one scene where he's like buying a gun, and he's like, "Which gun do you recommend to kill a Jew or something?" And the guy's like, "Oh, I'd recommend this one." And it's like no one would say that.
Well, they can still cut stuff around like that, but also too, I mean, like there's a couple things. If you watch, a good example is the what are those videos? Those YouTube videos? The crazy guy that goes out and interviews people.
All gas, no brakes.
I love All Gas, No Brakes.
If you watch those, you realize like actually how crazy people are, because that's about as real as you can get with seeing people kind of in their own habitat. And I think that's I really like that channel. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos. That's one that I try to keep up with now, because you really get to like this kind of look into this part of the US that you kind of don't understand. A good one is the recent was the Sturgis bike rally. There's every year in Sturgis, South Dakota, there is a big bike motorcycle festival, and people from all over the United States go there to this small town in South Dakota every year for this festival. And he went, the All Gas No Brakes guy just went there at this time, and it was during the pandemic. So he's interviewing people, kind of getting people's take on politics and the coronavirus, on motorcycles and stuff like that. And it's really interesting because you're getting these interviews from people who are just being very honest, and you see them in their own, like, where they thrive, and you learn about all these people that, like, you're like, I don't know anyone like this. I've never seen anyone like this. This is very different and eye-opening. And
you judge them,
and most of it, yes, and you
judge them.
Judge a lot of people, because most of them are like insane. And it's all these places he goes, he meets these people that are crazy. And so when I see things like that in Borat, like, I'm not as surprised anymore. Plus, also, if you've ever talked to someone and they seem really awkward or you don't know about them, you kind of just go along with what someone's saying. So, like, if I was, if you sign a waiver, someone comes in, you're doing this interview with this guy who says he's from a foreign country, and he kind of goes off and says some things that are, like, clearly racist. Most people don't call it out, or they kind of just ignore it and pretend that it doesn't happen. That's probably kind of what would have happened in that kind of situation too. Hopefully the guy wasn't like literally being honest, like, yeah, if I'm gonna kill a Jew, this is the best gun. You want this one right here.
I get skeptical with those type of things.
I think you should watch the movie though if you haven't seen it. There are some things where you're like, I can't believe this is real, but I mean, and I didn't believe. So after I watched the movie the second time, I think I did a lot of like research on this, trying to find things, and you can find articles. Like I found the one about where he's at the rodeo in I think it's in Texas or something, where he sings the national anthem. And I found the actual news, the news, like the nightly news from that town, or like the nearby town, that aired when he did that, and it was like big news there that this guy came in and caused this whole scene, and no one was expecting what was happening.
That's a classic.
Yeah, that is. Kazakhstan is the greatest country in the world.
Did he not do anything like big before this?
Oh, he did other stuff. Yeah, he did the Ali G show. Which was like this British show. But he kind of just did all these characters. So Borat was already an established character. So was Bruno. So was Ali G, before he did all these things that he did on these other TV shows. And then Borat is the one that he made the movie out of first, which then did really well. I mean, it was a tiny budget, and it made, I think over $100 million. So the return on investment was was huge on that movie. But yeah, these were already established characters that he had from some like sketch shows that he had done. What I haven't seen was his Showtime thing, where he had the where he did the interviews. Yeah, was it Showtime or Stars or something?
I believe it was Showtime.
I really want to watch those, because those were apparently pretty interesting. I kind of saw some clips from them, but that was a little more subdued. It wasn't as like crazy as him as a character. It was kind of more him like in deep disguise, trying to get people to reveal
themselves. I think.
Yeah, kind of reveal things about themselves, which I think can be very interesting. But I'm looking forward to the next Borat movie. I don't think it will be as good as the first, but it'll be an interesting watch, and it'll be on Amazon Prime, so it'll be free, and the three of us will be able to watch it, but not Will.
Uh-oh.
But
That's what happens
Mick
when
will
you,
though.
can't
If you
watch
haven't,
Amazon Prime.
if you haven't seen the first movie, I would check it out. It's also hilarious. Like, it is a hilarious movie.
It's outrageous. It's
outrageous.
outrageous.
Okay,
Anyway,
I'm expecting the best now.
It's really good. I had really low expectations going into, because when I watched it, I was kind of like anti-Borat, because when the movie came out, it was vilified by certain kinds of people.
Dang it.
And so
Here goes Dave on his communist rant.
So I kind of went into the movie when I first watched it, kind of expecting like, oh, this is gonna be a horrible movie. I'm not gonna like this, and I was very pleasantly surprised with how good the movie was. Anyway, so I got a new car. It's great. So that's wrapping up that segment.
When are you gonna get a new motorcycle?
I don't know. Probably when we don't live in a downtown apartment where we can actually park somewhere.
Couldn't you park the motorcycle inside your apartment? Isn't that the benefit of having a motorcycle?
Drive it up the stairs.
Drive it into the elevator.
Yeah. I saw a bicycle up on your landing.
Yeah, that's a bicycle.
Yeah, just park the
weighs like 10 pounds.
Park the motorcycle right next to it.
The motorcycle we had was like hundreds and hundreds of pounds. It was like maybe 700.
So you're saying you're weak? Is that what you're trying to say?
Weak.
Will,
Can't
do
even
you
lift
want
a motorcycle?
Actually, I don't think your elevator could lift up hundreds and hundreds of pounds.
Our elevator is it looks like
Your
something that
elevator's
Swiss Family
terrifying.
Robinson would have built a better motor.
It was
built a better
worse
elevator.
than your old car.
It's also the slowest elevator.
The elevator door would open when the elevator was still moving.
Oh yeah. Try to get off early.
Yeah, it was very slow. It was clunky. You're pretty sure you're gonna die every time you go into it.
But that was part of the adventure.
I just imagine the movies where the wires just snap,
And then the brakes fail.
yeah, and then
The one wire flies up and cuts someone in half.
Decapitates them.
Yeah.
Like Final Destination or something.
Have you guys seen some of those death scenes in Final Destination?
I've never seen
It's
any of
pretty
the movies.
stupid.
I haven't seen any of the movies, but I saw a compilation of some of the deaths, and they're just so ridiculous.
They're over the top.
Completely crazy. It's so dumb.
Maybe have an example. I want to.
Gosh, there was one on a bridge. A bridge was collapsing, and people were trying to run off and get off the bridge, and there was those metal sheets that are metal roof things.
Yeah.
like there was like a big pile of those, and like they slid off and like sliced some guy in half or something. And there was like a thing of tar that just like poured over someone, and or something like that. But it was just like so many ridiculous like things. Like, oh, the guy like almost died, and he got saved, and then something horrible like comes by and just like wipes him away.
That's the whole point of the movie, though, right? Is just to watch people die in terrible ways.
I guess so.
Like,
I guess there's something like
they avoided death or something, so now like they have to die in a different way.
I think like one of the most famous ones is the log truck, like a bunch of logs.
That's
like,
the one I always think
just,
of.
Like, get impaled into somebody behind them. Yeah,
it doesn't sound like a super clever.
I mean, it's not.
It made a lot of money though.
Yeah, well, they made. How many of them did they make? They made
There's
like
five
or something.
Oh my gosh.
Never
How
understood.
many final destinations?
Yeah, this is
The
a
finalist final.
destination.
It's like Final Fantasy. Like we're on what 16 coming out sometime.
16's coming out. Yeah, it's so many finals.
Well, Halloween's coming up. You guys have any fun Halloween plans?
No,
Maybe
I don't
have
make
no
plans
idea.
anymore.
Party.
I really like Halloween though. I just like that time of year. I like the orange and black, and I like candy, and I like the fall weather that's associated with it. I like seeing tacky Halloween decorations out. I think it's just fun.
I like November better than October. Like I agree with you in that Halloween like starts like the beginning. Like I think Halloween starts like one of the best time periods of the year. Like that November and December time period, I really like. Has a lot of positives, but also a lot of negatives. It's really cold and icy. At least where we live.
Too cold.
Yeah.
Bad time of the year. Too cold.
Oh my gosh. Just bundle up, dude.
Do you guys know if this is going to be like a pretty severe winter?
Nobody knows.
Probably with how everything else.
Last year, because last year wasn't that bad.
Yeah, last year was pretty tame.
We'll probably get
so.
like 35 feet of snow.
But the year is 2020.
This is when the ice age like actually like happens. Like the scientists were wrong. They thought the world was burning, but the world's gonna freeze.
Corona and cold combine.
Maybe we'll have a nuclear winter. So there will be some,
A what?
a nuclear winter. So Pakistan
ash.
nuclear. Yeah.
Nuclear.
Nuclear, man. See, India and Pakistan will go at it, and then there will be so much ash in the sky, and then the world will experience a horrifying nuclear winter that will end all life on this planet as you know it.
Yes.
Let's go back to Halloween.
It's
Just
Yeah.
before
We're too
2021 can start.
We're two bad rulers away from nuclear, and the end of life on Earth.
I'd say really just one. Like it really only takes one, wouldn't it? One bad ruler, maybe.
Maybe actually, yeah, it might take one.
I mean, the countries you really need to be worried about probably would be U.S. and Russia, just due to stockpiles and due to maybe
China has some, don't they? Or does China not have?
They have some too, but I think it's still. Don't quote me on this. But I was thinking the U.S. and Russia had the most.
I mean, we have enough to blow the planet up multiple times.
Oh yeah.
So why don't we just do it? You know, I mean,
North Korea actually has like the crazy dictator though.
Yeah.
Like necessary. Like it's like just that their technology is actually missing.
it's because they don't. Yeah, they're just stupid. Stupid North Korea.
They've got like the rocket parts upside down. They're like, well, how do we do this?
Did their leader die, or is he still alive?
No, he's alive.
He's gonna live forever. He's
I feel
immortal.
like people haven't seen him though, have they? Like
They did plastic surgery on another person just to look like, like
they made another.
they made
It's fascinating, like hearing all the like things that they claim about him. Like when he was born, there was like a rainbow that like burst out
That farted out the president or whatever.
or like he doesn't have a butthole or something. Like yeah.
Wait, what?
Like, yeah,
that's the thing about him.
Yeah.
Does he not have waist because he's perfect? Like there's no weird.
Yeah.
It's crazy how people will put aside human biology and just like.
Will, I thought you said last week that you're not a man of science. What are you saying?
No, I'm a man of science. I'm not a man of God. I'm a man of science.
Man,
Will
can't make up
the
his
flip
mind.
flopper?
Yeah, I don't have any Halloween plans.
People can come over here if I'm not on call.
Like even the listeners.
Yeah.
All three of you.
Yeah, all three of you.
What are we gonna do?
Play poker, maybe.
Want to wrestle?
Watch some
no, I
horror
don't.
movies. You guys could watch some
watch
horror
Scream
movies.
2. Watch Scream 2.
That's Scream 2, right? Or is that Scream 3?
I don't
think
know.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
I think it's 3. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind
I
then.
thought that was a commercial from the 90s.
Maybe both. I think
Is
I
that
think
what
it's,
you're doing?
yeah, but it's
You gotta do it louder.
it's-
You did it really
okay.
quick.
Well,
All breathy. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I haven't seen.
no, it's a famous scene, right?
We could
from
watch-
the movie.
I don't know.
We could watch Hereditary.
I'm not watching that
No.
movie. I refuse to watch that movie.
Midsummer?
No.
No, what's
Stop-
wrong with you?
Stop it.
The Witch?
No.
I mean, I would watch that movie.
Gosh dang it.
I'll watch that. We could do
The
a
Witch?
we could do a Netflix watch party of The Witch.
It's a good movie. It's so messed up.
Would you watch
Actually,
that
maybe I
one,
don't
Mick?
wanna watch
That one's more cerebral, right? It's
Watch
not
which
like
one?
it's not like horror
Which
like
one?
The Witch. The Vivitch.
No. Too scary.
It is really scary.
Double
It's-
V's.
It's
can't do it.
disturbing.
Yeah.
It's by the guy that made The Lighthouse,
Oh.
but it's scarier.
I think isn't the Lighthouse based off of a Greek like mythology story?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Oh, but some lighthouse.
Which
I didn't
story?
really-
Like, I might be able to
I
recognize
can't remember.
I didn't really like that movie.
But the story beats like line up exactly with
The
one.
Odyssey.
No, definitely not.
The Iliad?
Oh, the Cyclops. That's where it came from. The Cyclops seagull.
It says that this is from the internet. It says the final story bears little resemblance to Edgar Allan Poe's fragment The Lighthouse.
No, that's not what I'm thinking.
It says it bears little resemblance. So that means it's not close to the
It said the
Lighthouse.
film began as an attempt by his brother to create a contemporary take on the Poe story.
But it began, but it didn't end up.
Yeah, not Mr. Poe.
Dave, I don't like that you're splicing facts from Wikipedia.
Splicers?
Please don't do them.
Speaking of
Gosh,
splicers,
dang it. No. Dave, like
clever.
Oh, is this some Bioshock thing?
yeah.
would you kindly talk about Bioshock for a few minutes there, boyo?
Are you going to spend 15 minutes talking about how Crouch is triangle and then
No.
it bothers you?
No, Crouch is L3.
How was it all through?
I platinumed Bioshock though yesterday.
Congrats.
It's I was following in the footsteps of one of my closest compatriots, Landon Browning, who has also received the platinum trophy for that game.
You know.
But that game still is a masterpiece. It's such a wonderful game. The story is, I think, perfect for a video game setting, and I think it's one of the perfect video game stories.
Is it your favorite video game of all time?
It's up there. I really like the game. The setting is so amazing. Rapture is
Yeah. The heart and soul of the game is the setting in Rapture and
Yeah.
how like the environment is. Like that's basically what the entire game is based around.
and it's very environmental storytelling, and there's very little cutscenes. There's one or two, and I think we've talked quite a bit about it before. But there's one cutscene that it kind of has to be a cutscene based off of some story stuff that happens. But man, it's such a good game. I love Bioshock.
I tried playing it, but it was too scary.
No, I think you should try it again.
No.
No, it's not that.
Scary for
It's
me.
not that scary.
It's pretty scary
It's-
at times, but
At times it can be, but it's not as scary as some
So-
other games.
So you
Okay.
get a good gun in your hands. Like,
Will, I watched
weapons.
the
I'm a bad shot.
the YouTube personality Nakey Jakey.
Oh,
he
yeah.
he did a movie. He did a video on horror games, and he talks about a little bit about Bioshock. And one of the scenes he brings up is one of the ones that happened to me, and the way it happens in the game, I thought it was just an accident. Like, it seemed so artificial that I actually didn't know it was an intentional jump scare. But it's where a part of the game where you're walking in the medical pavilion and you find a plasmid, or a tonic, which is basically an upgrade for your character that you can use to kind of have better elemental abilities, and you find it sitting on this desk, and you walk down this corridor and you pick up the plasmid, and when you pick up the plasmid and turn around, there's a splicer right behind you, but he's not exactly like ready to attack.
What's a splicer?
It's
Like a drug addict.
basically, yeah, like a drug addict in Rapture who's had way too much Adam. But
It's like a power-inducing drug.
but the scripting in the game or whatever, how it works is it doesn't seem like it was necessarily supposed to happen. It kind of just seemed like he walked there and appeared behind me, because he doesn't attack you right away, and I almost like jumped out of my chair when I turned around and saw him, because I was not ready. And the game doesn't do a lot of jump scares. Most of the horror is kind of just in the environment and the use of like light and dark and shadows and stuff like that. And he showed that scene in his video, and I kind of got a little shiver. It was
PTSD.
Yeah, as soon as he went down the corridor and showed the tonic, I was like, I think I know what's gonna happen. But it's a perfect mix of just like kind of survival and horror and action and
Story
using
as
plasmids.
well.
Yeah, and then the story, I think, is a perfect video game
I think
story.
the best part about the story is that things happen as you're playing the game. So it's not, and there's so much storytelling in the actual dialogue that you overhear through audio logs and that you pick up and listen to, and through just like running through the corridors. Like you'll get this guy will talk to you like and say something like, "Would you kindly go here?" or something like that, and that plays
Sounds polite.
plays part in the story. It's really nice.
I like to like you find like the audio recordings are like the characters too. Like it's not like just one off like random, like some random note from a character that doesn't matter. It's like you're following like 8 or 9 different characters, like progression through the story. And then a lot of times the last audio diary recording you find is like close to like their dead body or something.
Yeah, or something.
Like slumped over, like impaled on something, or like destroyed. Like
It's very similar to The Last of Us or The Last of Us Part 2, where if you like the storytelling and that you liked opening up all the little pieces of paper and following along what happened to all these people, if you like that, then you're going to like a lot of the storytelling in Bioshock.
what's the Dr. Suchong?
Suchong, yeah.
Yeah, my boy Suchong. Yeah.
He's the one that developed the big daddies to help protect the little sisters.
No.
Oh yeah, and the big
great.
daddies I think are really cool characters.
Yeah.
On a side note, the Big Daddy was one of my favorite characters to play in PlayStation All-Stars Battle
game.
Royale. You know, the hit
Bros.
Sony,
Killer.
yeah, the hit Smash Bros. Clone.
They should make another one.
I'd be down if they did. I'd pick it up.
They need to improve a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I honestly think they should have doubled down and just done a Smash clone, because there was enough different that the like killing people in the game was kind of weird, where it was just more about leveling up the bar and using that certain ability to kill someone. You could never knock them off the screen to kill them like you could in Smash Bros.
Yeah, which
I
was
think
really
that was the
frustrating
big
because you
flaw
could be-
of that game.
Yeah, you could be dominating somebody, and then they just get a lucky level 1 super, and you're just dead. Like,
I never played.
Parappa the Rapper, which his stupid
God.
little skateboard
Oh.
running around and
I
killing
love
everybody.
Parappa the Rappa because he was so cheap. He was like the villager of Smash
Basically.
Bros.
Don't be hating. Don't be hating.
I like Sackboy.
Sackboy is cool too. I liked Ratchet and Clank because, you know, diehard Ratchet and Clank fan, and he was fun to play. That was a fun game. I mean, I know we're ragging on it a little bit. It did have a lot of flaws, but it was a fun game to just sit
was
down
a
and
fun
play with
party
friends. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a fun couch co-op or couch party game, not co-op.
It just was not made for like tournaments or anything.
Yeah, I think they have so many properties now, and they could easily, you know, get third-party support, kind of like Smash Bros. Did, and like they did in the first game. I think there's a market for kind of more party-esque fighting games, which is kind of what is the appeal of Smash, is that you can play it if you're not good, but also there's a huge section of it that it's like it's a very intense, you know, tournament level fighting game, where other fighting games, they don't have kind of that casual element. Like Mick,
It's so difficult to get into
when
fighting
Mick
games.
They're
visited,
so terrible.
I installed the first what's the game called? The DC one?
Injustice.
Gods Among Us. And that game, like, it was rough to like know how to play. I was having difficulty trying to learn how to play, and I was
go through the
even the
tutorial.
tutorial, like there's certain things you have to do to get through the tutorial, and it was not easy. Even Michael was having some difficulty doing some of like button
Basic
combos that they need you to do to advance through the thing.
They're just not.
They're not
First
intuitive.
of all, they're like super like complicated on like how many like combinations of button presses you need to do, and then they're not exactly like this is exactly what you have to do, like pressing in this order or pressing these buttons at the same time. Like it's really kind of vague.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean the game, that game specifically, the only reason I liked it was I thought the story was really cool, but the game itself, like the gameplay is just horrible. I can't stand those fighting games.
And there are, there is a market for those type of fighting games, and some people love those
huge.
type of games.
And
But like
The market is huge.
But I think it's so inaccessible to a large portion of an audience, where something like Smash Bros. Or the All-Star fighting game was casual enough that like you had those levels of like someone like Brianna, my wife, can play Smash Bros. And have fun and sometimes knock people off the stage.
And she's terrible at video games.
And she's
like,
not
awful.
that great.
Like she's
at,
like the
at
worst video game player I've
like, have
ever
you seen
met.
her play Fall Guys?
Yeah, so bad.
And I think fighting games would be a lot more fun if they were a lot more
Didn't suck.
Well, because those
I think
games.
is why Smash Bros is so popular, and it doesn't have a lot of competition. It really doesn't. So, which is surprising. I'm really surprised because Smash Bros can be a lot of fun at times.
Yeah. Don't all the those fighting games, like they're different combos, like it's different button presses for all the different characters too, right? Like each character has different combos.
So
right?
the way how like Street Fighter works is that you have like 6 universal buttons. There's light, medium, heavy, either punch or kick.
Too many already.
And so
Where's down
with
B?
with that combination, you can do like quarter circle. There's also moves that are quarter circle moves. So like you turn the stick like a quarter circle, and you press a button, and that's a different move. Then you also have EX moves that use your meter, which you have to press a different button for. Or you can kind of put together different buttons from the already existing buttons.
Oh my god.
So there's basically 3 types of moves, and the combos are all like I don't know if this is a real combo. I haven't studied
like
it too
right
much.
XXXXX triangle.
Well, it's like
L1.
it would be like small kick,
And then you just punch him.
small kick, crouch, medium punch, and then like a quarter circle heavy kick or something like that. That's like the smallest combos in the game. There are combos where it's like 5 or 6 inputs long, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But there's actually a lot of depth to them.
I'm sure.
That's what the hard thing is that
there is, but me personally, I have no patience for that at all.
it's just there's
Especially when you
I just
can't make it
resort
through
to
the
button
tutorial.
mashing.
It's
it's
like
so
okay,
hard to learn a game, but once you do, it's super rewarding from what I've heard. I've tried.
I feel like
and
that's the
can't
only
do
game
it.
you can play though. Like if you play fighting games, that's all you
Basically.
play.
But some people
And you're
enjoy
sad
fighting
and
games
alone.
that
And
much.
you don't know what the real world
Yeah,
is.
and then like you play like a normal game where it's like, oh, you jump,
Well,
you
here's the
shoot,
thing.
and they're like, you only jump and shoot.
Why am I behind the character?
Yeah,
Once you get like past this barrier of good at fighting games, that translate like the way your brain works in learning fighting games. I've seen that translate to multiple different fighting games. So once you get good at one fighting game, it's easier to get good at the rest.
yeah.
I can understand that. I think I would have. There's other genres of games I'd rather spend time with to learn better, like certain type of strategy games or RTS games, something like that, where kind of like if you learn one, it kind of translates to the other games as well. Fighting games, I just have never been that interested in, but I could understand someone like you, like wanting to get better at fighting games.
I mean, you really just end up giving up and just button mashing.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, occasionally you'll do this really cool combo.
But you don't know how you did it, and you're like,
How
oh.
did I do that?
I can't judge them. I pour endless hours into like stupid Siege. Like,
Yeah, you do.
'cause we're back, baby. We're back.
Gosh,
We're back out here.
we are back, but it's painful sometimes. Who's back? Back again. Landon's back. Tell a friend.
Heck yeah.
Do you guys have like any books or movies like that you really like going through around this time of year, the fall time?
Wintertime.
Wizard of Oz. No, that sounds weird, but around
That's
Thanksgiving.
It's great. It's a great film.
It's a great film.
Thanksgiving classic.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Wizard of Oz is
I don't know why
such
you said that sounded weird.
Because you gave me a look like, are you serious? Wizard of Oz.
I wasn't
Like-
expecting Wizard of Oz.
Like, it's like, you fool. I watched Lord of the Rings every year this time of year. Like,
How'd you know? Well, I also like going through the Harry Potter books around this time.
Yeah,
So.
they're great, cozy, like
Yeah.
just, like bundle up while it's cold outside.
Landon's still not allowed to read Harry
being
Potter.
an idiot.
I wouldn't want to get in trouble.
They're too.
I don't want to get caught.
Have you ever read or seen Harry Potter?
I've seen a couple of the
They
movies.
teach you.
Couple?
They
I think
teach you
the 7th and 8th
witchcraft
one.
and
I'm just kidding.
wizardry.
I haven't. No, I've seen like the first 2 to 4. I'm not sure. I don't know.
What's the last you remember about Harry Potter?
I don't really remember anything.
I think it would be fun to have a marathon of either the movies or you yourself read the books. I think that would be really fun.
I would definitely read the books are better than
The books are phenomenally better because the movies are like Spark Notes versions of the books.
Yeah.
Like they're like, okay, we're gonna hit all the major points, and they do a good job of that. They do a good job of hitting all the major points in the series, but
Probably
there's a
as
lot
good
of
as a
the
movie
character.
could do.
There's a lot of character details that get lost in translation.
and a lot of like subplots that are just completely taken
They're
out.
like, oh, this isn't important. Like just
Yeah.
pull the string out.
I'll probably just play the Harry Potter RPG.
That looks like a lot of fun.
It looks like it could be a lot of fun. I don't know what kind of game it is going to be. If it's going to be like a Destiny game, I'm going to be very sad.
Destiny sucks.
But if it's going to be like,
What if it was like Bully?
If it was like,
That'd be cool.
I've never
Actually, a
played
Bully get like game reskinned with Harry Potter, or a Harry Potter reskin of Bully would be an awesome game. Actually, I would play that in a heartbeat.
I think there was a new trailer for the Harry Potter game just a couple days ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh really? I think so. Maybe it was the original one.
I saw the Spider Cat.
Oh, I saw Spider-Cat. Dude, I'm so excited.
Yeah. For the Spider-Man Miles Morales game.
Yeah, it's just a tiny little cat, just adorable, like carrying around. It can do attacks. It's like, oh man,
He's
like,
wearing a Spider-Man mask.
now I want to buy the game. Like,
It's gonna be messed up when it dies halfway through. Like that's the emotional death. To kill
Oh
the cat.
no!
It just loses all its fur.
becomes like an Egyptian cat. Like,
Ew.
Ew. Ew.
you guys
Anyway.
don't like those cats?
No,
That can freak me out a little
a
bit.
cat should have fur
Why?
because that's how they are intended to
You
be.
like you like hairless dogs?
Absolutely
Oh.
not.
My family had a hairless Chinese crested. I think it was the name, like the breed, and it was
Ooh.
it was horrifying. It was a horrifying animal to behold. Its teeth like rotted out, and it would like throw up all over the place. And
Oh,
like,
gosh.
It was disgusting. It was actually probably the grossest animal like you've ever seen.
Oh, I just pulled up a
Chester.
picture of that breed. It's like
David's like close browser, clear history.
it's like a hairier spotted Chihuahua.
yeah, but imagine it with no hair,
No hair.
like a hairless version.
Well, there's like hair around like its like head kind of, but its
Oh,
body
what?
is like skin. It's just skin.
So it's half human.
Yeah, it looked like a big rat.
There are certain types of dogs that I will not stand for. Like I
what?
will just like,
But will you stand on them?
Stand on them
no, I'm not that cruel.
like a Pomeranian.
I think so.
Oh, yeah,
I
I'd
don't
stomp
know
on a
the dogs'
Pomeranian.
names.
What? Just kidding.
Stomp.
I hate Pomeranians.
So do I.
Anything that's super small and yappy, I just can't stand.
It's like Chihuahua.
basically, yeah.
We had a Chihuahua.
I freaking hate Chihuahuas.
That was the only actually decent dog I think we had. Pretty sure.
Why do you
about the
sound
dog
so
now?
depressed, Landon?
Didn't you bond with your new dog?
The new dog's okay.
I thought you had some special bonding times.
Yeah, now it's okay. It's not terrible now. It's just okay.
Okay. It's fair.
It hasn't been in the family for long, so the stock fluctuates
It's wildly. It's very volatile.
Yeah, it's like a penny stock.
It's a nice dog. It might be the dumbest animal I've ever encountered though. Like it can do some.
Have you met my dog?
No, actually, no. Copper might be dumber. He just lays around.
I love Copper, your dog, but man, sometimes it's like,
He's a bit of an airhead.
what are you
I
doing?
think it's that he's a mix, so I think it's that lab coming out that's just like too jolly and stupid.
See,
The dog my parents have now is it's like super hyper because it's like a herding
Hyper
dog and it
dogs
just
are-
runs around like. And it can do some like it can do some tricks okay, but like
Do some damage.
It gets distracted.
Like card tricks?
No, like
He's like,
sit, shake hand, like roll over.
Pick a card.
it like flips all the cards over. Your card's not there. It's like, whoa!
Barfs it up.
crumpled up like just goo. Just throw up is all around it.
The dog magician. The Prestige 2.
No one's not involved though, so
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Straight to DVD.
Dog Magician. It sounds like a Lifetime movie.
The Dog Magician.
Starring like Kevin Sorbo. Like
Premiering on 7/8 Central.
Well, okay, I want to go back to Harry Potter for a second because I think it would be cool that, like, if they did. Hear me out. I would see like if they did a series, like each season was like a year, at the school.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool because they
Like
could
of the original Harry Potter story or
Yeah.
of a new story.
of the original,
Interesting.
or if they did, a new one, but
like HBO, TVMA,
See,
Harry Potter.
What I'm really frustrated with Harry Potter is the author of Harry Potter is making all these movies.
the new Fantastic
Fantastic
movies, yeah.
Beasts that I've heard are not good. And I'm personally not interested in.
Money. Here comes.
But they make a lot of money. And I'm frustrated because all I want is like a new series that has as many connecting plot elements as Harry Potter, like in that school setting. Like maybe like the school, because there's a school in America. There's an American school in the
I think
universe.
there's multiple schools in America.
Well, there's two. Oh my gosh, there's two magical schools in the series, right? So
Right.
there's Hogwarts and then an American.
Well, there's
school.
more than that.
There's more than that, but
Yeah.
the two major ones. Fantastic Beasts focuses on a lot of the stuff going on in America,
Right.
and it has some Hogwarts stuff in it just to try to make money. But
Right. Ooh, look, something you remember.
yeah, basically,
Dun, dun, dun,
so-
dun, dun, dun.
I
I
just-
recognize that.
I just want a new series with maybe like one or two barely even references with new characters, interesting plot motivations, and just new stuff rather than just rehashing Fantastic Beasts. Oh, look, we have Albus Dumbledore in the second movie. We have McGonagall or whatever. How many people like?
I
are
didn't
in
even
the second
see.
movie?
Did you see the second?
No,
one?
I didn't.
I didn't see it either.
It had Johnny Depp in it.
I think the first one did too.
Did
for
it?
like 2 seconds.
Ooh.
He was Colin Farrell the whole.
And it's
Spoilers.
like, are you kidding
He was
me?
Colin Farrell the whole time, and then I guess Colin Farrell's not cool enough to be the villain, so he turned into Johnny Depp.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And there's going to be 5 Fantastic Beasts movies.
Wait,
You
really?
heard that right.
5?
5.
That's the same amount as Final Destination movies.
Exactly, and
The
each of
magic
them has the
number.
same quality.
Each of them will have
What
the
is
same
the-
death scenes.
What is the plot to the Fantastic? He's just
I don't know.
He's just actually I can't remember.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Something about like he has all these beasts and he's trying to round them back up.
Some,
I
like,
think that's the
Fantastic
first
Beasts
one.
or something.
Where the-
He's trying to find them or something.
And he gets involved in like this plot. Like he gets kind of sucked into this like
I really do not remember
American
what happened in the
Ministry of
first
Magic
movie.
plot.
The thing I remember about the movie is that the short, hairy white guy was funny.
He was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, he was my
wait,
favorite
Harry-
part of the movie.
Harry White. Oh, like hair.
Yeah, like
I
So,
thought
like,
you were talking about Harry, like Harry Potter.
So
Like there's
yeah.
there's a
Harry
kind of
white guy. Pleased to meet you.
Wow, so dumb.
Mhm.
But I thought a series would be cool if they did like another telling of the books or something new. I guess,
So like
but
an 8-episode.
yeah, like 8 or 10,
like The Mandalorian or something, but with
Yeah,
in-
kind
in
of.
Harry
But I
Potter
feel like they
world.
could do like if
Pedro
they did
Pascal.
if they did
That's Harry Potter.
yeah.
But he doesn't take off his scar until the last episode.
It just peels it right off.
Oh, it was a sticker the whole time. But I feel like a series could do those books more justice than movies could.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And like each season just be like a year at
Yeah,
Hogwarts.
I definitely feel like television is typically a better way to adapt books.
yeah.
Well,
I think so.
It wasn't that bad until the 4th movie because the
Oh my god,
the
they cut
books
so much out of the movie.
So the book,
The
the
fourth
first
movie.
book is around like 300 pages long, 250 pages long, something like that.
It's not very
that bad.
long,
It's not that long. Same thing with the second and the third. I think is a little over 400, and so they've managed to get most of the stuff in the third. I think they cut out like a few.
Just a couple.
There's a couple details, and then when the fourth book is over 700 pages
Oh
long.
my gosh. Yeah.
And
I
they
think it's the longest in the series, isn't it?
no,
No,
Order
the
of the Phoenix
fifth one
800.
The fifth one's the biggest.
So it goes. The fourth one is 700. The fifth one is
Right,
800.
okay,
The sixth one is 600, and then the seventh one is 700
Yeah.
again. And so suddenly you're starting to get down to they're cutting basically like 400 pages worth
Yep.
of stuff out of this book,
Yep.
and it's infuriating because a lot of the good stuff that happens is that 400 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So read the books, then watch the movies.
I would say so.
I'll probably
Or
never
just
do
read
that.
the books and then don't watch the movies.
Don't
or
watch the
don't
movies,
do
it's
either.
fine. The movies are fun because there's some famous actors that do really well in their roles. Gary Oldman.
I mean, they're good movies.
Like, yeah.
I enjoy the Harry Potter movies, but
Yeah.
I just think the books are
superior.
are a
Easily.
lot better. Which is funny because I think the opposite with the Lord of the Rings franchise.
Oh, really?
The books are so hard to get through.
I've never actually read the Lord of the Rings
Oh.
books. I've read The Hobbit. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, The Hobbit's good. That's much more of like a children's book.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings books are just super dry
Mhm.
and just. I mean, you've read the Harry Potter books, Will. They're
Yeah.
pretty easy to get through and
Yeah,
they're
they're
interesting.
accessible.
But but the Lord of the Rings books are just very dry. I'd still prefer the Lord of the Rings universe and lore and storytelling over the Harry Potter stuff, but the books are just I don't know. Dave, have you tried reading the Lord of the Rings books?
Yeah, I've tried to read them quite a few times.
Would you agree?
Keyword tried.
Would you agree with me with that?
Yeah. Before I make final judgment, though, I would actually like to finish reading the books.
He hasn't finished them. That kind of says it right there.
But I have tried to start reading the series multiple times. The last time I did it was a couple years ago, and I got about 100 pages into the first book.
Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah, they're hard to get through.
Game of Thrones is still the best fantasy books.
When's he doing the next book?
Never probably. He got his
Then
money.
it
He's
sucks.
good. He's out.
Sucks. Terrible.
He saw how people received the ending of the show. And it's probably
He was like-
exactly how
he was
planned
like,
the
"Oops,
books. And
that's
he's
how
like,
I was gonna
"Oops,
do
like,
it."
I gotta rework this. Save the.
Didn't you recently say like the books will be every character will be totally different except for one?
If that's the case, that's awesome.
Yeah, like every character will have a different storyline going forward except for one, I think.
When?
And it's who?
And it's
ends up with
Podrick.
the Iron Throne. I don't know.
Podrick, dude, I love Podrick.
How long ago did the last book come out?
2011.
Holy cow!
The first one came out in like '97.
There's no way he's getting another book out.
He's
there's no
fairly
way.
unhealthy and old.
Man, I mean, what's he doing?
I don't know. He's writer's block, I guess. Like,
Man,
he's like, I always like see like, oh, George R. Martin's linked to this new project. I'm like, just finish this book.
how many books has he done?
5 in the series.
5?
Yeah.
Dude, 5. Magic number.
They're all right there. They're
That is my legit favorite fantasy
5.
novel series. Like, they're so good.
Out of curiosity, not mean to hate, but how many fantasy series have you read?
1.
Chronicles of Narnia. Those. There's been a few others that are smaller that aren't as well known.
Gotcha.
Will, you just finished the first book in a fantasy series, right?
Yeah, I just started the second one last night.
What book?
It's called The Way of Kings. It's a massive, like 1,000 page, like
It's
God.
Game of Thrones, but Mormon.
yeah, basically
Oh,
Mormon Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's, no, it's way better than you would think. It's way better than David's.
When does Mitt Romney show up?
No, it's Rick Momney, and he comes to save everybody. No, but the world is super interesting, and it's kind of a slow burn in that it sets up a lot of these characters, and it gives them a lot of solid growth, and then they all collide in the end, and it's great. And it comes together in a really nice way. Like the picture that you get is just like it's like if you're putting a puzzle piece and you finished a full solid 1/4 of the puzzle. Does that make sense?
Oh, no.
So when reading that first book,
Landon says,
Landon
says I hate puzzles.
Well, it's great for a series because you get a picture of a.
So
we
are
finally
there
get.
4 books in?
There's actually like going to be like 5 or 8 or something.
I hope
What?
there's 5.
But I don't know how many are planned. But the 4th one's coming out next month, and I'm on the 2nd one right now.
Okay.
And it's
Are they all like 1,000 pages?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah, The
no.
Way of
They're
Kings
all
was
really good.
bigger than Dance with Dragons, Landon.
Oh wow.
It's a thick boy.
Yeah, it's a big boy. Took me a couple months to read.
Oh my god.
I started that book. I got about 100 pages in, and then I switched to Dune.
I need to read
instead,
Dune.
and
I'd
then
rather read
and then I
Dune.
read Dune.
You really can't go wrong with either of them. I think Dune's the more classic one. Dune's the more complete one because
I'm just craving some sci-fi.
Dune's a great like self-contained story. Then you can like kind of tack on the Dune Messiah DLC if you want. Because Dune Messiah is only like 350 pages or something like that. So Dune Messiah is really short, and it's a really good complement to Dune itself, and I really liked it. But Way of Kings is like the first part, 1,000-page book, but it's also the first part in a giant series. And at the end it's a little discouraging because you feel so accomplished, like that you finished a book, but then you realize, oh, you're just getting started throughout the whole entire series, and it's setting up so many great and amazing things like within the book that are awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, oh wow, like I have made no progress.
Is there lots
I've
of
made progress.
violence in the book?
I
need violence in my fantasy novels.
mean, there's it focuses on a war, so there's some
Okay.
brutal stuff, but it's
Do characters die in horrific ways?
Yeah, the book starts out where there's this you're tracking this assassin that's trying to go kill a king or something, right?
Yeah.
With this special kind of, what's it called? The blades? What are they called?
Shard blades.
Shard blades.
I can get down with some shard blades.
So the blades are super brutal in that if you cut somebody down, their eyes will just like, I don't know.
It's like a
how
super
you describe
lightsaber,
it.
kind of.
It's
right?
like a super lightsaber, basically. Like it can cut through almost anything, and their eyes will just like burn out of their skulls.
okay, yeah, see?
So
the
prologue of the book is an assassination attempt on a king,
Okay, yeah.
and then the first chapter is about a giant war, a giant battlefield in which a lot of people get knocked out, and then it follows a slave through a brutal like slave camp. So thinking about it, there is a lot of violence, but the one thing that's the biggest difference in Game of Thrones is that it doesn't have a lot of characters and it doesn't set them up to die randomly. It has a lot of death in its plot, but it's very smartly used.
I think Game of Thrones death is smartly used.
I haven't read Game of Thrones, so I can't say that, but I will say that I didn't mean to say that it's not smartly used for
Don't
Game of Thrones. Does that make
insult
sense?
George R. R. Martin.
Okay, all right.
Don't insult.
Guy that can't even
It's-
finish his series.
All right, well.
All the deaths make sense. Like they're like set
Oh,
up
yeah,
for,
yeah.
like,
The deaths make sense. They're great, and all the characters have good development. It's a very impressive series,
Nice.
or book at least, because I only read one. But
I've been reading a lot lately. Except what I've been trying to do is read, since I finished Dune, I didn't read a lot of classic novels growing up, which I kind of missed out on. So I read 1984. I read Catcher in the Rye, and I'm reading Fahrenheit 451 right now. When I'm done with that, I'm going to read Brave New World. I'm trying to get, ready for cyberpunk, all those dystopian futuristic novels.
Brave. I had a hard time getting through Brave New World.
What's that one about? Didn't they just take that into a CBS, like All Access, or
I don't think it's CBS. I think it was
NBC?
Peacock.
Peacock? Yeah.
One of
Han
those.
Solo?
Yeah, with Han Solo. Yeah.
That's about like just a futuristic.
I don't
Dystopia.
remember much about it, but I don't remember really enjoying it.
1984 was really good. It was kind of scary.
It's messed up.
Big Brother's always watching. And I really liked Catcher in the Rye. I talked to my mom about it.
Isn't that a communist book?
No?
I don't know. It's Marxist
No?
propaganda.
What are you thinking of? Are you thinking
I don't know.
of
I'm
something
thinking
else?
of my childhood.
What?
what?
Anyway,
That
so
book
I was
had like negative connotations to it.
I was talking to my mom about the book because she said that she didn't like the book and it took her forever to read it, like multiple attempts. I think she was like in her 30s when she said she finally finished the book. But it's about this kind of depressed teenager that is basically flunking out of school in the 1940s. He lives in New York City, and it's the week before Christmas. And so he's trying to come home, but he doesn't want to come home yet to tell his parents that he flunked out of another school. But the main character is kind of interesting. He's kind of this depressing character. But the way the book is, I don't know if you guys know about it, it's written almost like a kid would talk, or not a kid, but like a teenager from the 40s would talk. So the prose is very relaxed, and it was a book at the time that had some swears in it that was not it wasn't very common in other books at the time too. So that was a
Bad
little
book. bad.
Yeah.
Swears bad.
I'm a man
All
of
these bad
God, so
swears.
I can't read that.
Will's back.
But it was a very interesting book because the guy, he's kind of confused about like where he's going in life and he doesn't understand. And I think it would have been an interesting book for me to read at the age of the character because I have a different perspective reading the book now as someone who is older
Made it past that.
and has made it past that. But I can understand and sympathize with the character, I think, if kind of like where he is at this point. And I kind of like experienced some of the things that he did at that age as well. Not everything, because I mean, he's kind of, I don't know, you should just read the book. It's not very long. And I think if you are anyone who is older than 15, then you should give the book a try. I think you would like he's a fun character to read about. He doesn't do a lot of interesting things, but the way he talks and his inner monologue. I mean, the book starts with basically him saying like, "You're expecting me to like tell you about like where I came from, where I grew up, and blah blah blah, but I'm not going to tell you all that because that's boring and I don't care." He basically, that's how the book starts.
Get official David seal of approval.
Yeah, I think you guys would like it. I think in particular Landon would like it.
Well, I'll have to check it out. Even though it's communist,
I don't know where it has.
I don't know where I got that from. Someone I really don't know. Like I thought someone had said it was like communist propaganda at some point. So
I don't think Landon actually understands much about communism. I think it's just one of those words.
You don't want to know too much; they could trap you. You gotta they could trap you with that. You just gotta.
Landon is still running on the high of the Red Scare, and
yeah,
but it's really like more of a word to him than I think anything else.
It means evil.
Anyway,
Stay away.
You should check it out, Landon, and Will and Mick.
Sure.
Oh, thanks.
I'll buy it. Set it on my shelf. Never read
touch
it. I watched Blade Runner 2049.
Did you like it more than Blade Runner?
Yes, I thought it was way better than the original film.
Which version did you watch of the original?
The final cut.
Not the extra final cut. Or
No,
final
I
cut
didn't.
4.0.
You didn't watch the
director's
extra
cut?
final cut? You're missing out.
I thought the sequel like delivered on what the original was trying to do. If that makes sense. I don't know who's all seen.
I haven't seen
it
either.
I've seen
Okay.
the first one, but I have not seen the second one.
Did you like the first one or did you not? Because I did not care for it.
It's okay. It's kind of dry. It's kind of a boring movie.
Which version did you watch, Dave?
I don't remember. I
Was there a voiceover?
I don't remember. I watched it a lot. I watched it probably in like 2007 or something.
Yeah, the new one is a better movie in my opinion. Better.
Didn't it win best cinematography?
I think so. The movie is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the art direction, the way it's filmed, and
I think it was the same cinematographer that did 1917.
Oh, okay. That would. Yeah.
I think he's like a really famous cinematographer.
Yeah.
Person.
Oh yeah, he did Skyfall, Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
Oh, he did Fargo.
Mm.
Shawshank. He did Shawshank Redemption. Will.
Oh, I love Shawshank.
We talked a
Redemption.
little bit about that movie last night.
That is such a brutal but amazing film.
I'll have to watch it.
It's
I don't know.
Landon,
It's a
you'd like
communist
it.
movie. I don't think you'd like it.
No, stop.
No, Landon, you would like it. It's such a sad movie, but it's such a
I
good
like
movie.
sad movies. It gets sad. Blade Runner is pretty sad. The 2049.
Did
The
it
whole-
make you excited for Cyberpunk?
Yes. Yeah. I like those. I love those like run down, futuristic, like
lived in.
lived in world,
Yeah.
like where you're like, I kind of want to know more about what's going on, because I mean the movie is very focused on certain events, but it's like, what is everything else like in this world? And it's got, what's his name, Ryan Gosling, right?
Gosling.
Yeah,
Harrison Ford.
And Jared Leto's in it a little bit.
Oh, Dave, your favorite actor.
My favorite actor, Jared
He's
Leto.
good in this one. He's good in his role. He's not in it a lot, but and then who are the other?
Isn't that one chick in it?
Anna de Armas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was in Knives Out, the main character in Knives Out.
Oh, the nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her
Daniel
character's
Craig?
What?
Daniel Craig,
Yeah,
the main character, in Knives Out.
Her.
Oh,
yeah, Ryan Gosling's really good in it. Same with the Anna de Armas, and
all those actors are pretty good.
yeah, and it like it like I said, it delivers more on that, you know, what it is to be human, and like creating, what do they call them in the Blade Runner universe? The
Replicant.
The
yeah,
replicants.
replicants. It delivers more on that than I felt like the original was like trying to, but didn't really ever quite get there. So I would recommend it. You do need to watch the first movie though.
I think it's on Netflix right now. I'll probably give it a watch.
Yeah. So
I'm a Harrison Ford fan.
yeah.
You?
He's
Harrison
got
Ford?
some good movies. So I've heard.
Is he your favorite actor? If you had to, like, on the fly, give an answer.
Yeah, he'd probably be up there.
That's a tough question.
Who would you say?
I don't know. Trying to.
Harrison Ford.
Steve Buscemi. I actually
John
really like.
Goodman.
I actually
You know,
really like
Steve
Steve
Buscemi's
Buscemi.
awesome.
So that was kind of like an actual answer for me.
I'm trying to think.
I think my
I like
favorite
Tom Hardy a lot. Christian Bale. I'll pretty much watch anything with Christian Bale.
Christian Bale's good. I like.
Tom Hanks is good.
Tom Hanks is good.
You know, this is a dumb. This
a toy.
This is like a cheesy answer, but like I actually do really like. I really do like Brad Pitt. Like, I feel
Why
like
is that a dumb answer?
I don't know. I feel like because he's just kind of like.
Because of Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Are you saying that
mean,
because he's handsome? Like
Yeah, like
you can't-
handsome, like well, like I don't know, like he's just I don't know. Everything I've seen with him is.
I mean, he has some pretty fantastic. He's in Inglourious Bastards, right?
yeah, that Once Upon a Time in
He's,
Hollywood.
yeah, he's in a lot of
Club.
good movies.
Yeah.
Moneyball.
Oh, Moneyball is fantastic. Have you seen Moneyball?
I have not. I need to watch it.
Moneyball is one of my. Moneyball is like my top 3 sports movies. You have Moneyball.
I like Moneyball a
Rocky,
lot.
and
Facing the
Rudy.
Giants.
And Happy Gilmore.
That's an honorable mention. But I can't believe you haven't seen Moneyball, you haven't seen Rocky, and you haven't seen Rudy. Like those are like 3 of the best sports
I
movies.
haven't seen any of those.
Yeah,
Any
those are,
sports movie with starting with R, you have to watch.
Yep.
like Runnyball.
Rhea R. Marshall.
Actor be, Will?
Tom Hanks probably.
Tom Hanks.
He's
Dave,
done some good things.
favorite actor?
I mean, like, I actually really like Steve Buscemi.
Okay,
I think
I respect
I think
that decision.
His starring role, Randall in Monsters Inc. Really.
Dave's favorite role.
I really like him in Fargo.
Sullivan.
Yeah, dude, his character in Fargo.
So good in Fargo.
Oh,
I can't wait to watch Fargo. It's on Netflix.
That's a
I'm gonna
good
watch
movie.
It soon. It's only an hour and a half too, so it's,
yeah, it's messed up.
Fargo's is one of my favorite movies. It's up there.
I didn't appreciate it when I was too young when I watched it. That was one of the first movies like Landon watched when he broke free from the shackles.
And you're like, oh,
I was like, oh no, this is messed up. Yeah.
oh, you know, actually, if I what's his name? Sam Rockwell.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
probably
yeah,
he's
Sam
probably
Rockwell's-
like up there for one of my favorites.
Dude, he's so good. Every role I've seen him in,
He was the best part of Iron Man 2.
yeah.
He's the best part of most movies that he's in. I would say he's probably the best part of Galaxy Quest guy.
I need to watch that.
Is there air? You don't know. It's an alien planet.
Yeah, he plays George W. in Vice. He's in Jojo Rabbit. He plays one of the Nazi commanders in Jojo
His
Rabbit.
role in JoJo is actually like really good.
Oh, in Green Mile, he's like
Oh gosh.
vile character in Green Mile that you
I
just
haven't seen
love
Green
to hate.
Mile.
And then he's the president, Zaphod Beeblebrox in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I actually like that movie. The book is really good, and the movie I think also is really good.
Green Mile.
A lot
Is
of
that
people
the
hate
one
that.
with the?
That's with Tom Hanks. And,
That's at the prison, right?
Yep.
Isn't that the one? That's the one with the. Isn't that based on a?
It's a
It's a Stephen
Stephen
King
King book, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a sad movie.
I'll have to watch that one too.
It's a good movie though.
Yeah, I like Sam Rockwell, especially in the 3 Billboards.
Oh
His
yeah,
character
as
in that
the
movie is really good.
Cop.
Yeah, the really bad cop. Like,
That movie's depressing.
yeah,
I like Denzel Washington too.
yeah, classic.
Classic guy.
Have you seen what's the one I'm thinking of? The Inside Job.
No, we talked about it though.
Okay,
with
he's in that.
Him and Clive Owen.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said Owen Clive. Yeah, you said you liked that movie, didn't you?
Yeah, is it called Inside Job?
Yeah,
Why can't
or Inside Man.
Inside Man? Sorry. Yeah, Inside Man. Yeah, Denzel Washington is in that movie, and
Yeah,
that's a good heist movie.
I like a good heist movie.
That is Spike Lee, Will, to finally come all the way back around. Inside Man is Spike Lee, not Spike Jones, like her. Yeah, that was a nice bow.
Thank you for.
see how we set everything up here and we pay it off.
Now we can hop in Dave's new car and drive on out.
Oh,
And learn more about communism.
Yeah, but not too much because you don't want to get.
You don't want to be,
Sucked
you
in.
don't want to be brainwashed by the
Yeah.
Reds. Better dead than red, am I right?
Exactly.
Any other actors?
Nah.
Okay, cool.
All their actors suck. If we didn't mention them, they suck.
Hmm.
Sorry, Leo. You suck. You suck.
He only just won his Oscar, so
Yeah.
you know. I guess that was like 4 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a while. Yeah,
Jeez,
was it for
long time
Revenant?
There we go.
I want to watch that movie.
The Revenant.
Yeah,
Never
brutal.
seen it.
I like a good brutal movie.
I'm not a fan of bear movies.
It's not about a bear.
So Brother Bear, you don't like Brother Bear?
Nah.
Brother Bear sucks.
Brother Bear's like D tier Disney movie.
You don't like that scene in Balto with the big grizzly?
Balto's like a E tier movie.
What?
Whoa.
You were wrong.
Mm.
That is a wrong
Well,
statement.
that's crazy how Will just wrote himself off.
What
the
is
show.
wrong with you?
Balto's probably like
Balto's
S tier.
amazing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Balto's great.
Nah.
Dave,
I don't remember much about Balto. Was it Kevin
What?
Bacon?
Kevin Bacon, yeah, and Phil Collins is in it.
It's a great film.
It's
Starts
yeah, it's
breaking
really
out
good.
of
I can't
Tarzan
remember. I
songs,
can't
like-
remember too
What
much of it.
production?
But it's about the
who-
dog sled team, right? Trying to get the medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great film.
Yeah.
Who
It's a
made
sad,
Balto?
Isn't there some sad stuff in it too? Like,
Yeah, there's some sad things,
yeah, what a great
but
film.
great movie.
Great film. Will says E tier. He's like, it's no
Wrong.
Cinderella.
It is no Cinderella. Cinderella.
Thank goodness.
Cinderella is like easily the best of like the classic Disney movies, like before like 1960ish,
Oh, shut up.
and easily
You just shut
still
up,
one of the
man.
top.
What are like the pre 60 Disney movies?
I can think of three. So Snow White, Cinderella,
Sucks.
and Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty. Yep, those are the big three.
Those all
for
suck.
the 40s
Those all
and
suck.
30s and 40s.
All terrible.
When's the last time you watched those?
Peter Pan was in the
Couple years
50s too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Peter Pan's all right.
Peter Pan's way better.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I'm not a huge fan of Peter Pan. I watched it
Exactly.
recently after Disney Plus was released, and I don't
better
think
than-
I don't think it holds up.
I think it's better than like
All the other ones.
Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty.
Well, I think it's better than Sleeping Beauty.
It's better than Cinderella too.
Sleeping Beauty is probably my least favorite of those four. It'd probably go Sleeping Beauty as the bottom, and then Peter Pan. I haven't seen Peter Pan since I was a kid, though. Then Snow White, and then Cinderella.
They're all not great.
I always get Snow White and Sleeping Beauty mixed up.
What?
Snow White. Snow White was the first one.
That was the very first animated feature film.
Yeah, it's got the
Snow
Seven
White
Dwarfs.
and the Seven Dwarfs.
I was like
Sleepy,
1938 or something.
Pokey.
39?
I think it's 39.
Yeah, one of those.
Right,
years.
just
Barn
Poland's getting
Door.
like destroyed.
That's pre-World
Samson.
War II.
Right there, yeah, right
Right
at the
there.
Start.
Yeah, right at the start of America's involvement.
Yeah.
A couple years before.
It's Poland. Poland died while Americans were watching Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. What time to be alive.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lady and the Tramp was another 50s one, Will.
Oh, I like Lady and the Tramp.
Nah.
It's been a while. I used to think it was boring.
I really
What about
like Lady
the
and Tramp.
Aristocats?
Oh, I
When was
love
that?
the Aristocats.
When was that?
That was 70, I think. Let's see.
That's a good one.
It's got that voice actor that
1970.
is amazing. What?
Is that the guy you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the like Blue and the bear from the Robin Hood one. What's that actor's name? He sounds like John Wayne, but it's not John Wayne.
John Wayne.
The bare necessities of life will come to you. That guy.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Oh, he's Thomas O'Malley, isn't he?
Yeah.
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 Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never made that connection that they share
Yeah,
the same
it's the
voice actor.
same
Yeah,
one.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
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 I mean, but you can't argue like that the golden or not golden, but like the '90s Renaissance
easily.
are probably the best Disney movies.
Well, you've got like the triple hitter. You've got Lion King, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast, like right back to back.
You said those completely out of order.
Wait,
Isn't Little
Beauty and the
Mermaid
Beast
the one?
first, right?
Isn't Little Mermaid the one that kind of started it, though?
Yeah, but that's not like considered in that grouping.
In the Renaissance? I thought that's the one that started the Disney Renaissance, was
I mean,
the
you could
Little
be right.
Mermaid.
You're probably right.
well, it was Little Mermaid in 89, right? Or something
89.
like that.
Little Mermaid,
89,
yeah.
90 was Aladdin. 91 was Beauty and the Beast.
92 was Aladdin.
No. 92 was Aladdin.
Beauty and the Beast was
91 was Beauty and the Beast, right?
I thought I'm pretty sure Beauty and the Beast came after Aladdin.
No.
Nope.
Well, okay.
You were wrong.
Get out of here.
Lion King was 94.
Wasn't Lion King the one where they had two teams working? Like one team was making
That's the one with
Pocahontas?
lions.
I don't know, but wasn't there two? Didn't Disney Animation have two teams?
I don't know.
Like they had like an A
I don't
and a
know.
B
When did
team.
Pocahontas come out?
95.
And I thought they had like two teams, and the A team was actually working on like Pocahontas, and the B team was working on Lion King, and the Lion King was way better than the A team was working on.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I was never a fan of Pocahontas.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people like.
All the colors of the wind.
I like it when they. I like when that one dude shoots the one guy and he like falls back and like tears the necklace off. Like they're like fighting, and then like it's like John Rolfe is fighting the one like super buff Indian guy, and then like John Rolfe's friend, like the dummy
Native
dude,
American.
shoots him. Oh, I'm sorry.
You communist. It got Landon.
I can't say that. I can't.
Oh no. Oh no.
Never mind. Gotta move on.
Okay, so Toy Story. Oh, gosh.
You've got a friend in me.
Great film.
I actually like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but I don't think that one
Notre
did
Dame.
as well, right?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
The
Notre
fight,
Dame.
the fighting Irish, the fighting hunchbacks.
I don't remember much of that movie.
That one's kind of.
I don't
messed
either.
up.
I know that there's the
It's
the
way less
girl
messed up
and
than the actual book,
priest.
though.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that pretty much with any
That's with
Disney
any
story?
Disney film. Like Cinderella, like I think the original ending is she gets stabbed. Like
Is
right.
they
as she's
cut
about
off
to
her
go
foot
and-
and then they surgically replace
All the
foot
stepsisters
with the
start like chopping off their heels so they could try to fit it in the glass slipper.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
it's dedication.
they're messed up.
Well, I think in the it was the French writer. What was his name?
I
Victor
don't know.
Hugo.
Grim-
Victor Hugo. Yeah, I think
Hugo
it ends.
Strange.
I think it ends with the hunchback like cradling the gypsy's body in
Griselda or whatever. her
in,
name
in,
is?
in the hole in the ground that they bury her, and then he dies there, and then they bury both of them.
Wow.
Why didn't they put that in the movie?
That's enough for today.
Isn't the movie Everybody Lives, right?
Oh yeah, everyone lives.
Of course,
yeah.
it's a happy ending.
Does the bad guy die?
Probably.
I don't think he
Captain Freeze?
dies.
Probably falls in like fire or something.
It's classic. Doesn't the hunchback not get the girl though? Doesn't like.
Well, they
doesn't
can't
she-
have the ugly guy get the girl. That would, that's not.
Yeah.
that's not right.
Doesn't like she get with like the soldier dude that turns like doesn't he the soldier guy
I
turn to
don't
the
know.
good guys?
I might have watched that movie once.
Mm,
I don't know.
I think you're right though, Landon.
yeah.
I like one thing I like about it is the guy who does the voice of Quasimodo. He's the guy that played Mozart in Amadeus, and I really liked that actor in that role. And so I think he was a good fit for Quasimodo. He had a good singing voice too.
Amadeus.
I think one kind of underrated animated movie is Prince of Egypt.
I feel like I feel like people really like that movie. And looking back, it's like there's a lot of nostalgia for that movie. I don't think it's underrated.
No,
I don't
think
hear a lot of people
overrated.
talking about it.
That's because
I mean, Disney just like completely overshadows DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Except for Shrek.
Oh gosh.
Shrek's their one like DreamWorks like Shrek and Kung Fu Panda
Tommy the
and How to Train Your Dragon. So
And
the
then-
big three for DreamWorks are Shrek.
How to Train Your
Panda,
Dragon
and
is
How to Train Your Dragon.
exceptional.
Wait, what was the other one?
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda
Oh, yeah.
sucks.
What?
I like the first one.
I like
mean,
Kung Fu
it's
Panda.
funny, but
I just like Jack Black.
yeah, there's just no there's
Landon
no.
Browning sucks. 2 seconds later, that's funny.
I mean, it's but like there's no depth. It's like I think How to Train Your Dragon is like
I don't know,
there's some
like
pretty good depth.
yeah,
to
there's some
that,
pretty
like-
good How to Train Your Dragon. Kung Fu Panda is more of a humorous kind of adventure. At least the first one, I really liked the main villain in the first one.
The tiger.
Yeah, Tiger Dude.
Scary tiger.
Landon as a little kid is just cowering in the corner.
Yeah. I never saw the last How to Train Your Dragon.
I didn't either.
I've only seen the first one.
I've heard it's really good though. The
The
last
first
one.
2 were really good.
Did you watch the TV show?
No, I did not
Oh.
watch the.
So good.
Oh, it's good.
I don't know.
Okay. Dude, I'd take your word for it. Like,
Okay, well, I was lying.
you have seen it?
No,
Oh, he's lying. Like it's good.
Are you lying that you haven't seen it, or are you lying that you
Stop.
have?
Let's talk about
Stop.
something else.
I mean, I think the one you guys are missing is DreamWorks' real flagship property, which is
It's gonna
Boss
be not-
Baby.
Okay, yeah.
I need to watch that. I've heard like it's brilliant.
Oscar nominated.
It's got Alec Baldwin.
As the boss baby.
Probably my favorite anime character ever.
Anime?
Animated.
Oh.
I also heard anime.
It's like, I don't think it's anime.
Imagine Boss Baby anime.
They made a TV show out of it, didn't they? Another one of those DreamWorks.
Yeah.
I think DreamWorks does that a lot with their properties.
Puts it on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Madagascar. That's another DreamWorks classic.
I'm just listing
I
up.
like Madagascar 2: Escape to Africa. That's a good
the
one.
Third one. The third one is really
There's a
weird.
third one?
Yeah. When
Well, there's the one where they go to London, right?
The
Where
third
they-
one's when they join the circus.
And
That's
they're in
fantastic.
London, right?
That might be the third
I think
one.
I've only seen the first one, and I only saw it once.
I've seen the first one probably a couple dozen times.
Isn't Ben Stiller the main?
Ben Stiller, Chris Rock. Chris Rock's the
Who is he?
zebra.
Is he the giraffe or?
No,
Ben Stiller's
Ben
the
Stiller's the
lion.
lion.
Oh, lion. Okay, it's always the lion that's the main character.
Well, the zebras.
Why doesn't the hippo ever get the limelight?
Well, the hippo's like the third main character. There's four.
There's the giraffe.
There's the
hippo,
giraffe, the hippo, the zebra, and the lion.
and the penguins are kind of like the side characters.
Yeah, the penguins are hilarious.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I think I saw the
Freaking-
Penguins movie actually.
I haven't seen that one. That's like the one I haven't seen.
Oh
The
god.
third one really does close the trilogy out, though.
Oh good. I
Wraps
was
up
I was
all
scared.
loose
I was
ends.
scared it would just like not finish the
The
complete arc
Yeah.
of that is Madagascar.
it's like the Spider-Man 3. Wraps everything up beautifully.
What do you guys think about that news that the next Spider-Man movie might have Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire come back?
It's awesome.
I
If
think that'd be
they-
awesome, but it's not
What?
confirmed.
I was gonna say if they execute it well, it can be really, really cool. I think I have enough faith that they can make it work. I mean, it's the same. Is it the same people that did Far From Home?
I mean, it's Marvel and Sony
Okay.
doing it.
I meant the same like creative minds. Like
Yeah, it's Marvel
Okay.
and Sony.
It's not confirmed though. I just want to put that out there. That
No,
Sony
it's
denied.
it's not confirmed.
Sony denied the
it's
rumor.
very
Speculative?
speculated though. I mean, they have the Jamie Foxx coming back. Why would they bring him back?
But he's not going to be blue, right?
I don't.
So they said he's not going to be blue.
So
blue, y'all.
Probably the most
what's the line?
compelling villain.
What's the line from?
I'm Electro.
I'm Electro. Hear me zap.
Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. Itsy Spider starts playing.
I hate this song.
I mean,
Oh,
they
what
could
a
they could
terrible
do
movie.
kind of like what
So bad.
Spider-Verse did, right? In a sense, kind of have different
What if they
iterations
bring in
of Spider-Man.
animated Miles Morales?
Oh, dude.
They just have him animated.
It just goes
all
off the
time.
rails.
And then they can have the guy from the Spider-Man game, but then halfway through the movie, it changes the
face.
actor's face to a new one.
What happened to you? What are you talking about?
Well, the company decided that my face wasn't good enough, so they changed it.
I listened to some people talk about that, like on a podcast. Another one, they were talking about like what probably happened. Their theory was like the guy that like did the face capture for the first go around, like asked for like way a lot more money to do the second game, and they're like, yeah,
Or he got canceled or something.
it could have got canceled.
His Instagram is still active and going.
Nah, he's canceled.
Canceled.
Will said.
We canceled him. It's over.
Hotkeys, and then all their fans just took up a storm on his Instagram.
It
Brought
would've-
down.
It would have been a lot less weird if they changed it for like the official second game, but the fact that you'll play the same game with a new face is just weird. You know what I mean?
Like they're like patching it into the first game.
Right,
Like,
yeah. Like with a movie, they'll change it for the second
Yeah.
movie. They don't ever go back and
They're,
put the new
they're
person's
erasing him.
face.
They're erasing him.
I would have been okay if they did that in the first Iron Man movie with Terrence Howard.
Get
Replaced
rid of him. He was so terrible.
I didn't mind him. And
time.
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle, I think,
way
was
better.
way better.
I mean, I think he's better. I didn't think Terrence Howard was bad though.
How bummed is he that like? Because isn't that same thing? Didn't he ask for like a ton of money to like do the sequel?
Yeah, he asked for more than Robert Downey Jr. was getting.
Whoa.
What an idiot!
Actually, I think he got paid more for the first Iron Man than Robert Downey Jr.
Wow.
Yeah,
And then he missed out on like
probably
So
the role of
many
a
movies.
lifetime.
yeah. He'd still be doing it because isn't he still going to be in the universe, Don Cheadle?
I mean,
Probably.
yeah, he's
He
still
might show up
alive.
every
His
now and then.
character
He's
is
still
still
alive.
alive.
Idiot. Terrence Howard, fool. But he got to be on Empire.
He was good
so-
in Prisoners.
Oh,
he was in
he was the
He was the best
neighbor.
friend of.
Yeah, his daughter was
Hugh
one of the
Jackman.
people
That movie's
got,
like tense. That movie's so
that got
tense.
kidnapped. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Like-
that was a really tense movie.
And they like take Paul Dano and they're like beating him with like the hammer. So I was like, "Where's my daughter?"
Hugh Jackman's scary.
Yeah.
He can scream really
Hugh
well.
Jackman is scary, and Paul Dano is creepy. And so when you put them both
Yep.
together,
Yeah.
I can't wait for his role in the new Batman movie.
He's the Riddler, right? Or no?
Paul Dano, not Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, he's the Riddler, right? Yeah. Hugh Jackman is
what
right.
would be like the worst casting for Hugh Jackman in a Batman movie? Like the Penguin?
Or the Riddler. I mean, like the Riddler. I mean,
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Mr. J.
He's cast as the Batmobile. You're like, what? He's like
It's just
running
his
on all.
face.
I'm
on his
sure
leg.
he could make it work. He's a good actor. Like, he can figure it out.
He just rides on his back and he runs on all fours.
The Batmobile noises are just him making the sounds like that. Yeah.
You don't want to know what the afterburner is though.
oh,
Fart joke. Yeah. That movie
Landon,
got pushed.
Landon did not like that. Landon will
Yeah.
remember.
Landon will remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Batman movie got pushed. I don't know if we've talked about that or not.
a whole year, right? Or like,
I think last week we
just
talked
like-
about it.
I mean, probably
Oh.
like 5 months back. I think it was originally in October of 2021. Now it's March of 22.
shoot.
Yeah.
That's what happens when COVID hits.
There's been a lot of screenshots though from the set and behind the scenes stuff. It's looking pretty good.
Heck yeah.
Have you guys read?
Michael's gonna know the full movie before it comes out. Like at this
Yep.
point.
Have you guys read the Long Halloween?
No.
No.
Oh, you guys should read that. It's really good. Graphic novel for Batman.
It's almost Halloween, so
We could
Dude,
read it
time
on Halloween.
to watch it,
we
man.
could all read it together.
Or-
We could all get our own separate issues,
Read it.
sit on the couch, and just read it
I
separately.
think I have a copy actually.
It's like, wow, sure is a long Halloween.
Yeah, we'll say that every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
and it'll be funny every time.
Why aren't you laughing, Dave? Fake. Fake.
Don't believe it.
Fake news, David.
That's what we call him.
Yep.
Well,
So, anything else you guys want to talk about?
I'm good.
I'm all good here.
I feel pretty swell.
I'm all good here. Okay. Well, I got nothing left, so I guess we're done.
Thanks.
Cool.
Bye.
Anticlimactic ending.
And we're done.
Bye bye.
Okay, next week we'll have some trivia for you guys.
Oh, hooray.
Yeah, bringing it back. Okay, thanks.
More Civil
Bye.
War general
Bye.
trivia from Landon.
No more Civil War trivia, please.
I didn't want to say this like on the podcast, but
We're not done yet.
when okay, well I guess it's gonna be out there.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Castbox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website, www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.